Bozo, welcome. This is part 7 of our Faith Incantation run through Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. Last time we started at the Cathedral of Metyr, meeting the new NPC Count Ymir. We went down into the Cerulean coast, finding a Mikla's cross and entering the Finger Runes of Rhea. And then we headed up into the hinterlands, fighting an old boss, and making our way all the way down into the Finger Runes of Dio, before heading back to the Cathedral of Metyr to meet another new NPC in Sword Hand of Night Zhulang, before finally finding this boss. For items, we got the Hull-laden necklace, some upgraded materials, the two-headed turtle talisman, mushroom cellar bell bearing 1 and 2, the ability to craft hefty rock pots, the lightning perfume bottle, more upgrade materials, the crimson seed talisman +1 and the cerulean seed talismans +1, the minor Erdtree incantation, the golden braid, along with the claws of night. And here we've got Divine Bird Warrior Ornis, who's rocking the same weapons as us. A lot taller, though. Okay. I was gonna point something out, but... game had other plans. Game did not want us to play our silly little games. Oh yeah, that's right. Lightning and water spreads out and does extra damage. Not a lot, but a bit. And yeah, that's kind of a good indication as to what fleeting microcosm is. I really thought that was gonna hit us. Oh, we're dead. I mean, not dead, but like, we're gonna get smacked in the face. I did not roll that in time. Also, what is bro doing? I'll tell you what he's doing. He's taking a lot of damage. For no benefit. He did survive, though. I will grant him that. He did survive. Got an M. But what I was going to point out is that there are a lot of characters, especially in this game, that are just like 8, 9 feet tall, and your character's like 4, 7. And it's got me thinking, if one person is really tall, they're really tall. But if everyone is really tall, maybe you're just short. And so is it really that everyone in Elden Ring is some massive Goliath, like 12-foot monster? Or are we actually just 4'7"? I mean, Blythe, Ornis, Horlu, Godfrey, Marika, like, with everyone being so tall, like Morgoth, Radon, is it really that everyone else is super tall? Or are we just short?
What have you done?
I
You've
called
wounded
myself
Count
short.
Ymir most irreparably, such that he wishes for your death.
Ow.
And I must attend to the Count's concerns.
Smack. Madam, I do not want to fight you. I mean, if you insist. But remember, you're a filthy dex build.
Oh, my dear star, a fine mother. You will be.
My shining star, grant me a mother's strength. Look here, at my fingers. I will be the true mother, and I will be the only mother.
Yeah, so they can keep yapping all they want. Not gonna stop anything, though. Oh! My soft, malleable bones. My soft, malleable bones. Okay, well, you're dead.
Truly, I desired to be your mother.
So anyways, as I was trying to say with Yulon, she's a dex build, and we got a great hammer. And strength builds just win. Strength builds just beat dex builds. That's how it is. That's the rule of the universe. I'm saying this as someone who has... I don't have any right now, but saying this as someone who has great swords as their default weapon. Strength builds just win. And that's just how it is. But now, here we have Yulon.
Count Ymir, the stars, the sky. I see them not.
So here, if you have an Iris of Occultation, you can use that to get her weapon. It is a pure dexterity katana that has physical and magic damage. It's pretty neat, but we just had the Iris of Grace, and we're the Faith character. We are meant to spread faith and grace and goodness. And we didn't do that with Quilline, but also Quilline's stupid, so... We gave him the occultation, we'll give her the grace to balance things out, to keep us as a morally good character. As it is.
Oh, it blinds, as if our night simply never was.
And that gets you a Sword Hand of Knight Yolan. And now if you head up to Hinterland, it's a little strange because you can't do this the first time you visit the Hinterland. You have to do this the second time, which I find a little strange, but it's not too bad. But you need the Sword Hand of Knight Yolan Spirit Ash. And you want to head up to the Shaman Village, because there's a secret that can be found all the way in the back corner. And I know that I've gotten multiple incantations that I just haven't shown off. I'm probably going to show them off at the end of the run. Or some point where I've done everything I want to do in a part, and I'm at like 45 minutes. So there's not enough time to do something else. But here, near the back, you can take this small drop down, and you can start making your way down. And there's plenty of drops, so you want to be careful as to not go too far nor too quickly. Because too far too quickly is how you die. But if you just whoop, you can make it here to Rabbit's Rise, where you can examine Puppet, where you can use or usher Anna into Sword Hand of Night Yolan's Spirit Ash. In reading this, it says, Spirit of a Sword Hand granted light by the Iris of Grace, wields a sword of bottomless black that penetrates the enemy's guard. Though it was not by the shining star that she had longed for, thus was her night illuminated. But this was an at times blinding light, and threatened to expunge the night entirely. And then for Jolan and Anna, the FP goes from like 80 to 140. But it says, spirits of two sword hands of night, one of them being possessed by Count Ymir's doll Anna. Together, Yolan's sword and Anna's claws are as bottomless black and penetrate the enemy's guard. Yolan and Anna were born in a cold, dark jail where they were raised, deprived of light, to be sword hands of night. Thus were they cultivated to become the most terrifying masters of their blades, though the burden of the deed left their hearts frail and pliant. And then you can examine it again to remove Anna. And then you can drop here, take it a bell bearing, to get Rabbit's Great Bolts to use in Rabbit's Cannon. And then this is an elevator. Now, if you start from the bottom, you can't call the elevator down. Instead, you have to find this illusory wall to break this to get a spirit spring to jump up. Anyway, with that done, we can now move on to the next section, which I'm going to be going... Do we have the thing, actually? We do. We have a Talier's Concoction. So we are going to be heading off to Dragon's Pit Terminus. And we're going to be taking on the dragon areas. And we can actually rest and level up. 7, 6, that's 8. I think that's overall better. I don't want to spend too much time focused on what stats I'm going to level up, because it's not too crucial. It might be a few points of damage here and there, but it's not going to fundamentally change anything. Whereas progressing will. But you can head forward through those, like, M made of stones. Or you can head off to the right here. And I think for story purposes, it's better to head off to the right if you're trying to gain the full context of this area and what's at the end of the other path. So we're just gonna move on down. And here, there's a massive dragon. Absolutely colossal. And it is the grand altar of Dragon Communion, where there's a site of grace. And here, you can do communion with Bayle, or you can get 2 different incantations that both require arcane, which I don't have. Or you can get Ghost Flame Breath, which requires a bit of faith in arcane. And here, there's a new NPC who we can talk to.
Warrior true, picture yourself feasting upon a dragon's essence, on the throbbing heart of the oldest, vilest dragon of them all. It would be the purest form of communion, the fullest sating of your hunger and your consummation as a dragon whole.
So, even though Dragon Communion takes faith in arcane, we're a man of faith, we are a holy man, and I would say do not partake. And I'll say it first for dialogue, but there's a thing with her that I didn't show off in any of the other runs, and so I'm going to do it here, which means a little bit of lying on our character's part, but we're doing it for the greater good. We're doing it for knowledge.
Perhaps you have yet to feel true one. I am patient. There will come a day when hunger knocks. Warrior true, do you feel the hunger? Then why not feast upon a dragon's essence, on the throbbing heart of the oldest, vilest dragon of them all? Yes, as it should be. Now, seek the Jagged Peak. There you will find Bayle, the oldest and vilest of all dragons, landbound warrior. Follow your desire and slay the foul beast. Devour its throbbing heart. I will grant you the strength required. In the name of my lord, Senessax. Warrior true, what is it that you need? In a time long past, Bayle turned upon the Dragon Lord. The foul traitor assailed our master and inflicted a grievous wound, only to make a hasty retreat, becoming a sworn enemy of the brood. Since that day, Bayle and his bloodline, the Drakes, have served as sacrifices for Dragon Communion. Landbound warrior, my lord, Senessax, has shown your kind what must be done. Seek communion. Sate your boundless appetite. Feel the euphoria of a dragon's essence taking root in your meager frame. In a time long past, the foul becoming a sword since the land but seek feel.
So, the basic short version of that is the dragons had Senessax as their lord. I don't think I have his soul or remembrance. But Senessax was the Lord of the Dragons, and she worships Bayle, or Senessax, or like works under him. And Bayle attacked Senessax and then ran away after the attack. And so she was sent out to basically convince humans to go kill Bayle and his children, his offspring, his lineage, as basically a form of revenge. Getting humans to do Senessax's dirty work. Trying to convince humanity that we'll stand to benefit from that. And so she's saying like, hey, if you're hungry, if you want power, go kill Bayle. You'll get a full stomach. You'll gain power. You'll get like a Nintendo DS for free. It's pretty cool. You won't get shot in the back. You'll get a free thing of Oreos for the rest of your life. All you can eat. Anything else you want, you'll get anything. Promise. Just kill Bayle. We'll do anything. Why run at me? That was a lot of damage. That was way more damage than I thought it would be. You know, that doesn't do anything to boost my damage. I get that I have the Erdtree Seal plus 10, which has S scaling on Faith, and I have 80 Faith. And the thing that greatly boosts incantations, and it's a lightning incantation in water. So it does a little spread. But I didn't think I was going to do that much damage. Maybe I should have just dropped the weapons and go full on into incantations. Like, I could do that. I'm not going to. Because going into a boss with, say, like 7 heal flasks instead of 11 is a little worrying to me. I like having my heals, especially because I tend to not play super well when I'm talking. But as you can see, I moved over to night, and she's now just gone. She just vanished. Where'd she go? Who knows? She's still not here. Still not here. Now if we wait until morning... Oh, and she's back. So she's off somewhere during the night.
Warrior troop, in a time long past.
So let's see if we wait until nightfall again. Will she disappear again? This time, no.
My dear Lord Senessax, tonight, like every night, my solace is yours. May it grant you sleep in your place beyond time.
remember, Talia's concoction, a condensed somniferous elixir purported to be capable of putting even an ancient dragon to sleep. And this is a dragon. So we successfully put a dragon to sleep. And she's still asleep. That's what, a full day. And now she's back.
I have broken my pledge. I succumbed to the deep slumber that was meant for my lord. It was a craven act of a foul and lowly beast. Forgive me, good warrior. My lord will no longer look on me. I have fallen from grace. An old dragon, no longer. Go on. Leave me be. Go on. Leave me be. My lord will no longer look upon me.
I've actually only done this, I believe, twice before. So I'm not entirely sure on the details.
Go on, my lord.
I think we might have to go beat Bayle. I think. But yeah, she had to stay up and just never sleep for the sake of Senessax. But we broke that. We got her to sleep, and Senessax is angry at not talking to her anymore. Probably because she's dead. She... I'm not sure about the gender of Senessax. But Senessax is dead. And, probably not speaking for that reason. But she doesn't need to know that. All she needs to know is that Senessax is no longer on speaking terms. And that will get us a new item. Probably after beating Bayle. I think we have to beat Bayle in order to get it. But now we can run over here. We can get this set of grace. And we can start making our way up. And we did pass a dragon in the water here. But they just give you a consumable item and a dragon heart, which we don't need. This one is worth fighting, though. But it's a boss and a normal enemy dragon. The one with the lightning around them, they're the boss. The one without the lightning is the normal enemy. And as much as I would like to speed things up a bit, going and trying to fight the boss with the enemy there just is not worth it. Because they'll both focus you. And if they don't both focus you, then the normal enemy will just sit back and spam fire attacks, which will probably hit you, and they do a lot of damage, and can very easily stun lock you if you're on torrent to kill you, so it's not worth it. It's better to just sit back, let the boss kill the normal enemy, or maybe rush in and kill the normal enemy. I suppose that's an option as well. So we can do this, so we can use Lightning Spear while on torrent. And we got a sword hanging off each side of us for the cool factor. Now we can summon Ornus, but I want to limit how many times I summon. Not too much, because I do want to show Ornus off. But I don't want to summon with every single fight, because that seems unnecessary. Right, that's a little weird. The way that the extra shots are just going straight forward instead of going where I'm locked onto. I mean, if I'm looking in the direction of the boss, it'll go towards them. But only then.
What a sight. A warrior true, if ever one there was. A fellow Drake warrior. Igon. Piteous Igon. Do you not remember? Conjure your past, how once you were, when fear was yet foreign to you. Drake warrior, dear friend, grant me this one wish. Take this finger, my finger, scale the Jagged Peak, face Bayle the Dread, and when you do, summon me. Summon my soul. My limbs are limbs no more. My heart is twice over filled with fear. But a Drake warrior I remain. And my soul yet lies on the mountain.
Okay, so the first dragon boss that I skipped, the one here, they just give you a dragon heart and a dragon scale flesh. And yeah, this second dragon boss also does that, but you also need to kill them for Igon. And getting Igon makes this second one worth it, in my opinion, because that advances his quest. At the end of his quest, you can get his weapon and his armor set, and it also means you get to summon him for Bayle. which I think is pretty cool. But we just teleported back to the site of grace to get all of our flasks back. And we can jump all the way up here. And we can just keep pushing forward, making our way up the mountain. Here, boulders drop off the top of there. It's only 2, so I don't have to worry too much. And you can get a Scadutree fragment. And then here, there's another boss. This one isn't a normal Drake. This is a full-on ancient dragon. Uh-oh. That is not doing a lot of damage. Yeah, that did more damage. Even though we're in water. So we can just hook that. We can hook that. Sir. Sir. Please. Leave me alone. Please. Just go away. Simple as that. Yeah, this feels like the best of the 3 so far. Like, it's fast, it doesn't arc, does good damage. Decently FP efficient. Because Knight's Lightning Spear did super low damage. And Giant Swing Take Thee, decent damage, but it arced. I was being walked into a corner, so I had to just... yeah. But Giant Swing Take Thee had good damage. But it was slow and had bad range. And arced. Whereas this damage isn't really as good, but it's got good range. It's very fast, so easy headshots. Okay, buckaroo. Whatever you say, Mr. Man. Man, they are not going down. Like, for all these headshots, you'd think that I would have stance broken them. but surprisingly, apparently not. But whatever. They're dead. So it's fine. 400k. An ancient dragon smithing stone and an ancient somber stone. If you care about fully upgrading weapons, they're worth it. If you don't, I'd say not worth it. But I figured, looks like we have time, so we can go after them. Especially because in the last part, I was skipping a lot of enemies. And this part doesn't have a lot of enemies. And so 2 parts back to back of fighting almost no enemies. I mean, covering a lot of land. And some big bosses, but still. Here, there's another ancient somber stone. And then dropping back down and jumping back up. No. But yeah, the reason I consider that boss to not be worth it, right up here, Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone, but the reason I consider that boss to not be worth it is because of how much health they have, how much defense they have, and how they have a ton of lightning attacks that arc that they really, really like to use, and it's just... It's not terrible, it's just not worth it in my opinion. How many of these do we have? We have 2 revered spirit ashes. Okay. Well, we can make your way up here.
Curse you, Bayle! I hereby vow you will rue this day. Behold, a true great warrior, and I, Igon, your fears made flesh. Solid of scale you might be, foul dragon, but I will riddle with holes your rotten hide with a hail of harpoons, with every last drop of my being.
So I just didn't want to talk through that. His whole spiel. That Knight's Lightning Spear once again doing very good work. I'm surprised none of them took him out. I was waiting for him to take him out.
Bayle the Dread, you shall haunt me no longer.
Okay. But we got the Heart of Bayle. We got 980,000 runes, which is very nice. Just realized I forgot to do the items we got last time. Well, no, I think we did. We just got these this time. I just associate this with the last area. But anyways, the Biotrial, however you pronounce that? Heart of Bayle the Dread, dotted with horn-like gravel stones and glistening with deep red liquor. Gorge upon this at the grand altar of Dragon Communion to absorb Bayle's power, the purest form of Dragon Communion, in the words of its priestess. And with them dead, we can now head back here to go visit Igon. And you can start to see it now that he's actually not alive. But instead you're getting his items. With his weapon of Igon, the Broken Drake Warrior, a great bow fashioned from 2 dragon bones, bound with coarse rope, covered in gashes left by claws, imbued with Egon's obsession, enhancing the power of Egon's harpoon. With the skill Egon's Drake Hunt, skill of Igon Drake Warrior, ready the bow before unleashing a twisted shot with a great bellow that considerably enhances its powers. And then you have Egon's set. Armor of the Broken Drake Warrior Igon, from a set comprised of a miscellany of parts. I'm assuming that means like miscellaneous parts. Filthy belongings are attached to this tattered piece of protective wear. The poor scavenger of battlefields found honor through Dragon Communion. And the rest is just flavor text. But now we can head back here to the Grand Altar, where if you didn't put her to sleep, she would be dead and you would get a heart that allows you to turn into a dragon like her. It's pretty cool. And you would get the Flowerstone Gavel, which is a weapon. It's a hammer. It's got a cool skill. I like it. I suggest using it. Good against dragons. I used it once against the dragon boss over there. It's actually kind of nuts how good it is against dragons specifically. But if you put her to sleep, she'll still be here, and you can talk to her.
Finally, our wish is granted. Our dream, long yearned for, has come to pass. My lord was blessed with great insight. He saw in the insatiable hunger and fierce spirit of man the very things that would fell Bayle, our wretched nemesis. Warrior, you soar with the strength of dragons, whereas I am fallen. Leave me be. Is that the truth? Never in all my years. How could you inflict such cruelty? No, that is not for me to judge. Whatever your hand in it, it was I who succumbed to the sweetness of slumber. The fault lies with me. I may be fallen, but I need not surrender my honor. On second thought, I believe you do owe me something for the transgression. On a mere whim, you've stripped me of my one and only law. As such, I require another. You. One day, may you become a dragon whole, a lord of your own making. Lead me, and I will follow. my good lord.
And that gets you Ancient Dragon Senessax, and you can see that she's wielding the Flowerstone Gavel. But this requires 52 faith, the Dragon Bolt of Senessax, and costs 35 FP. It's a special incantation of the Ancient Dragon Senessax. Calls down red lightning to bolster the caster and nearby allies. When enrobed in red lightning, all forms of damage, including physical, are increased. This also increases damage negation while guarding as an additional effect. There was a time when the priestess never knew love, and thus never used this incantation herself. So this is just a defense increase incantation. And then Ancient Dragon Senessax costs 85 FP. It says, Senessax assumed this spirit form to offer her service to a new lord. Use her own Dragon Bolt to increase all damage negation, including physical, for herself and nearby allies. Strikes foes with the Flowerstone Gavel's Dragon Bolt to reduce enemy lightning damage negation. Long ago, Senessax assumed human form to share dragon communion with the world. Now, she has acquired a human heart. And I may use this as well on top of Divine Bird Warrior Ornus, specifically because strikes foe with the Flowerstone Gavel's Dragon Bolt to reduce enemy lightning damage negation, and our main spell has been Knight's Lightning Spear. So we could. We could do that. Also, we have 7 minutes left. So I could maybe possibly show off Wrath from Afar, Heal from Afar, Minor Erdtree, Dragon Bolt of Senessax, Fire Serpent, Regalia, and Golden Arcs. We showed off Watchful Spirit. It's not good. Right, I'm gonna throw it in. Here. I'm gonna throw it in there because it's not good. But I think I'm gonna save that for the final part. Because last time, like, I tend to save the final part for the final boss and then my thoughts on the run. And last time we did that in like 30 minutes. So instead, I think we're just gonna end it here. We finished up the Finger Runes of Myr and Count Ymir's quest. And then we came down to Dragon Pit Terminus, got to the Grand Altar, got Charo's Hidden Grave, and made our way through the Jagged Peak, completing Bayle, Igon's quest, and Senessax's quest. For items, we got ourselves a Remembrance of the Mother of Fingers, the Maternal Staff, the High Priest set, Yulan Anna, Rabbit's Cannon, Ancient Dragon's Blessing, a Dragon Heart, 2 Ancient Somber Stones, 2 Ancient Dragon Smithing Stones, the Heart of Bayle, Egon's Great Bow and Set, the Dragon Bolt of Senessax, and Ancient Dragon Senessax. So, good progress today, and yeah.